Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to my first ever dev vlog. So this week I go on to explain the creation of Archer's NightFall. So firstly I wanted to talk about how I wanted to pursue this passion of mine. I've always had this spark in me to create video games ever since I was 14, so I finally decided to fully ignite this spark and commit to this. And if I can inspire any of you to do the same, that's why I'm doing these videos. So this is my first ever game jam and really a major step into my hobby of game development. So I'm gonna go ahead and explain the jam and then go into my day-to-day process on the creation of Archer's NightFall. This game jam is themed around time. So you can only use free open source assets and you can work with a team or solo, which I'm solo. This game jam is pretty straightforward. You are given 31 days, which is pretty incredible because most game jams are like a couple days. So yeah, I found this to be a pretty perfect game jam to jump into. So day one, I spent a lot of time thinking and designing the game. I knew I wanted a top-down shooter going into the jam. I also had an idea of an arena style game. To incorporate the time theme, I was thinking of maybe like a survive the week, make it through the week, then you win. I also love the idea of being on an island alone, fighting off monsters and surviving. So there it is, that was the idea I had on day one. Then I went into Game Maker Studio, which is the only game making tool that I have somewhat experience in. So I jumped in there. The first thing I did was actually get my assets, and I made a basic outline. And then once I got all the tile systems down, I moved on to player creation. So I got the basic player movement and somewhat of a collision system down. Finally, I wanted to make a cool shooting mechanic. So I came down with an idea of being an archer. And in order to fire, you had to charge his bow. And that concluded day one. Going into day two, I felt fully motivated, so I decided to dig right into the enemy and its AI. After looking through some cool free assets, I was able to find a pretty decent bat animation. So I got him incorporated into the game, and I improved his AI to chase the player's last location. Then if he's in that location, it would spit like a little toxic ball at him. Next, I started work on the lighting system, in which I give full credit to Jobo for creating this free asset in the Game Maker store, which gives a beautiful lighting system. Once learning and configuring that lighting system, I decided to change the game's idea a bit. I felt that surviving a whole week would be a little too repetitive, so I switched the idea to surviving the entire night. And then I started working on some of the hitboxes for both the players and enemies. Day 3. Today was the day of player animation. No longer will I have a square as my player. So while searching for some inspiration on top-down archers, I ran into the Tiny RPG Forest asset, which I love the main player in this asset and decided to use him. I barely can call myself a programmer, but now I had to learn how to pixel art. So I went ahead and downloaded Sprite, which is a pretty cool sprite and 2D editing tool, which I recommend for everyone. I watched some tutorials and added a bow to this character. And then I want to add some new loot systems for the coins. Oh, day 4. So I still had no title for the game, so I had to spend a good time brainstorming. So the game was about night, and it gets darker, so I thought NightFall. And the main character being an archer, we get Archer's NightFall. Shut up, it's creative. So next I went into the lighting system, and I gained a lot more control over it, making it brighter and darker certain hours of the time set in the game. Then I went to add a herd effect, and then I added the most scuffed looking UI. So on day 5, I went to create some more arrow types. I went and created a flame and piercing arrow, but I had a lot of schoolwork to finish up, and also had some things planned for family. So that left us to day 6, and this is where I attempted to create a inventory system, which I don't think there's enough tutorials in the world to explain this system. So that's going to take me a minute. And then we're on day 7 now, and today I worked a lot on this video, and usually Sundays are days for planning, so I went ahead and planned and hopefully attack next week with lots of progress. So that's my first week of game development for Archer's NightFall. If you're interested in following me through the hurdle of indie development, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. I've also been thinking of live streaming my learning process, so if you're interested, check out my Twitch below. Whether you're experienced or not, I always appreciate feedback, so let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And I will continue to get more experience at these devlogs, so I hope that you guys will continue to grow with me as I post more videos. Thank you.